Anjir, cepetnya cok. Baru mulai jir. Iya, nomor 1 bang, pin. Sesuai permintaan, jir. God damn bro. Cepat banget anjir. Ya, selamat malam teman-teman semuanya. Welcome back. Welcome. Maksudnya anjir gak fokus gara-gara sirens. Halo teman-teman semuanya. Welcome back again bersama mas-mas anime di sini ya. Udahlah gak usah openingan anjir. Nah, kak juga kok. Oke. Bentar guys ya. Sebenarnya belum selesai coy, siap-siap ya. Aku absen like doang bang, lagi di Gorgopol. Gorgopol apa cowok? Gorgopol anjir, apa anjir? Ntar kalau masih left tak mampir, oke. Adios, oke. Hati-hati di jalan. Semangat bang, yoi. Oh, PUBG, makanya gak asing ya namanya anjir. Aku absen like, sebelum kau share, aku udah ada. Makanya itu, baru ngeser anjir aku. Oke. Kita masuk ke in-game. Jadi tuh ada event ya, event besar nih coba. Dan ada Xavier juga di sini. Aku tuh ingat banget Xavier tuh ada di Tatarasuna ya. Dia tuh dulu kayak keren banget anjir, kayak apa ya? Itu penemu handal gitu, kayak ilmuwan gak sih dulunya tuh. Tapi setelah pulang ke Fountain dia ganti job jadi tukang bikin film ada. Jadi gitu ya. Ini apa nih? Mana crown anjir? Oh gak ada crown. Oh ini ada crown coy. Gila, ini eventnya ada crownnya tuh pasti event gede gitu. Apa lagi? Ya, quest dulu Sat. Kalau nggak quest kita nggak ngerti ceritanya kah? Kisah Putri Oceanid. Aku sih udah ngerti ceritanya sih harusnya. Furina jadi manusia biasa kan ini intinya. Aku lagi kabujir makanya standby di YouTube sambil scroll shot. Lihat orang bikin makanan. Ya kah? Lapar belum sekarang? Ya udahlah kita mengenal Furina lebih dalam. Ya. Salah judul dong.
Hey Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
Oke, ini ceritanya kita lagi commission. Intro, prolog.
You know we're worth it. For quality work and speedy results, choose Paimon and the Traveler.
Hah?
It's always a pleasure to see our two most
Quest
avid
Navia cuma
adventurers
drama
again.
bang.
Looking for the next challenge, I see.
Quest Navia drama, tapi drama yang penting sih menurutku. Itu lebih ke cerita tentang sejarah Spinati Rosula. Navia apa Furina coy? Ini Furina nih. Kalau Furina nggak tahu ya aku. Emang penuh drama.
Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Ada misi mendesak tapi nggak dikasih imbalan. Males lah.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding.
Lah, Mon.
So what's the situation?
Duitnya, Mon. Ibu. West Furina, oh.
To put it simply,
Oke lah.
the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to
Oh
perform the
gitu.
role.
Si pemohon perlu pemeran utama wanita pengganti untuk sebuah drama musikal. Aktrisnya kena masalah dan tidak bisa tampil.
But the troupe has also
Oh
been
gitu kah?
experiencing some financial difficulties, so
Nah,
unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
Rugi.
situation. So
Sahabatan
basically, they're
anjir.
looking for a volunteer?
Mirip kayak di Event cuma bikin film aja. Tapi tentang Oceanid. Oh, makanya quest Furina tuh jadi quest rekomendasi untuk diselesaikan terlebih dahulu ya.
That's right.
Mungkin nanti ada
Our
Furina juga di
adventurers
Event.
reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job.
Lah, jelas lah gak dibayar anjir.
There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time,
Kita punya
they'll
aktor
probably have to postpone the
handal
show.
sih.
And delays tend to create all
Acting
sorts of
selama
new
500
problems.
tahun.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy.
Furina udah.
Think, Traveler, any... Even if we
Furina.
took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
Misalkan kami yang turun juga kan nggak ada pengalaman main drama musikal sama sekali. Indeed.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester?
Oh iki
He's right over there.
anjir gak ada duit. Boleh apa?
Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder he looks
Oh ya,
like
kami
he just
pelajari dulu
needed help.
situasinya.
No one approves.
Oke. Ini full cerita sih ini stream
Hello there. Are
hari
you the
ini.
guy looking for a new actress?
Looking for new actor.
I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Bukan
Wow,
kami sih.
Sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot.
Begitu ya nanti. Nggak apa-apa. Aku sudah tahu menunggu ada sukarelawan sih. Gimana ini typo kah?
If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It
Waduh.
would be such a shame.
Duit penjualan tiket tidak bisa buat sewa artis.
That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts.
Oh gitu.
All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees.
Oh gitu. Oh. Cuma hobi doang dia kayak tiketnya tuh nggak dijual coy.
If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently.
Wih,
But now, it looks inevitable.
Navansu,
that we'll
waduh,
disband.
maaf sekali Navansu. Oh gitu kah?
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah. This is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
Lah. Iya bang, biar ngerti alur cerita Furina. Oh, oke. Udah mau Natal, film kartun banyak banget TV tentang Christmas. Waduh, udah nggak pernah nonton TV sih aku.
One last show.
Pasti Home
And
Alone
after
sih.
that,
Pasti
we
ada.
go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
Tapi ada orang yang tidak bisa hadir.
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently.
Kasian sih.
It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the
gitu.
performance on schedule.
Kasian juga coy Lawik. Aku padahal awitnya pengen ngehujat dia coy.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see.
MU kalau mana coy, males nonton aku. Mending gak usah nonton bola bang. Pikiran tenang. Nanti emang guys,
What if we sponsored the show?
emang kalau nonton bola tuh nggak bisa ganti-ganti tim kesayangan kan? Kayak misal MU dulu menang terus kan, terus sekarang kalah, kita ganti dukung yang lain tuh nggak bisa kan?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I
Kayak
can't
ganti-ganti
promise that we'd
waifu
ever
gitu,
be able to
Cok.
pay you back.
Kalau wibu kan biasanya ganti-ganti waifu kan? klub bola nggak bisa gitu kan? Apakah ada suatu kebanggaan tersendiri? Wes setia bos guys, oh iya kan? Bisa gitu kan? Nggak, aku nggak pernah nonton bola sih. Aku mau tanya nih, siapa tahu kamu tahu. Misal kita lahir di luar negeri gitu, kayak di Inggris atau di mana gitu, tapi agama kita Islam. Nah pas Natalan itu boleh ikut-ikutan Natalan juga boleh kan? Boleh aja sih. Selagi pas lo ikut Natal lo nggak tiba-tiba murtad sih nggak masalah sih. Emang apa ruginya anjir, kayak Tuhan mereka juga sama anjir. Dia cuma ingin merayakan kebahagiaan gitu. Kalau 2-0 langsung login Genshin. Nggak usah, udah dibiarin aja wis. Biasanya kalau nggak ditonton menang ya. Yang penting kan murtad. Nah itu simple sebenarnya, itu simple. Yang penting nggak masuk gereja. Lah masuk tinggal masuk aja sih, apa ruginya anjir, apa minusnya? Kayak kita kemana aja juga boleh sebenarnya. Kita ke Borobudur juga tempat ibadah agama lain ya, tapi nyatanya kita nggak murtad kan. Kecuali lo tiba-tiba masuk gereja pas mereka lagi ibadah, itu jangan anjir. Lo ganggu namanya itu. Tapi kalau cuman mampir sih it's okay. Boleh gak masuk? Kok kira nggak boleh? Boleh coy, boleh lah. Kenapa nggak boleh itu? Islam di Indonesia tuh ribet ya, kayak apa-apa tuh dibikin masalah. Padahal tuh Islam tuh bener-bener agama yang simple dan gampang buat dicerna gitu, bahkan dengan akal sehat ya. Tinggal gunakan akal. Dengan akal kita bisa mengenal Tuhan. Kalian tahu kan syarat wajib beragama itu apa? Nomor 1, berakal coy. Itu aja sih. Kalau masuk akal sah-sah wae sih. Sing gak masuk akal iku nek kon mau gereja pas ngomong do ibadah ora masuk akal iku podoe. Kalau kalian Kristen ya, tiba-tiba kamu masuk masjid pas Jumatan gitu, kayak mondar-mandir di depan jamaah, kan gak masuk akal ya. Makanya bahwa akalmu nah simple aja sebenarnya. Kalau kita bisa gunakan akal sih pasti semua menjadi mudah. Misal Naruhodo jadi gitu ya guys ya, nggak usah dibuat pusing lah. Ngapain dolanan salju, main aja. Kalau udah gede mungkin bisa keluar negeri.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Purina.
Her. You're... That was a joke, right?
Oh, Jepang wes dan salju jare mas. Jepang udah salju semua sih harusnya Desember. Tapi biasanya tuh ya pas hampir Natal sih. Kadang beda sehari 2 hari sama negara lain.
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular.
Aku pengen dolanan salju mbak waifuku. Waduh, angel lagi. Dolanan salju gue ngayal ya, tambahi waifu loh. Ya jangan kalau bisa nenggot lo.
But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Farina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
Katanya ingin bisa tampil sesuai jadwal.
Well, yes, but...
Selamat pagi, Rins, dadku. Selamat siang, Mas Woyo. Di sini siang, coy. Aku nggak disapa nih, anjir.
I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Farina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course,
story ini
it all
Navia,
depends on
Navia.
whether she's interested.
Story ini Farina
She might
simple
consider
kayaknya.
this opportunity beneath her.
Entah
No
lah.
point in stressing
Ini
about
kayak
that.
ngenalin Farina mode manusia gitu nggak sih?
Besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Ya, sudah lumayan lama juga nggak nyapa dia.
Thank you for your help.
Oke.
I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's
Iya
moved
sih.
out, right?
Tinggal di mana
As it
dia?
happens, I have her current address here.
Wih,
I can
Catherine
provide it to
penyelamat.
you.
Let's go.
Woo! When did you get here?
Kerungu loh deh.
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed.
Oke.
It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Oke,
Thank you,
Catherine.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Farina. Back in a jiffy.
Oke. Kita OTW ke rumahnya Farina yang baru. Baru tahu aku ada rumah Farina. Setelah dia keluar dari Arkon. Jalan-jalan bareng enak ya, paling bawa ibunya pas bengi-bengi Natalan. Anjir. Wah, stres banget nih. Gak mungkin anjir. Kayak aku nggak bisa bayangin loh.
Did Catherine really give us the right address?
Lagi lah
She
Frina.
lives here?
Lah ngapa nggak sing 3D ae, Rins? 3D. Oh, maksudnya menungso kah? Lah yo, mending bayangin ambek menungso iku cek iso kenyataan ngono lho. Nek waifu, wah. Hanya mimpi belaka ya. Kok nek disakiti piye? Yo, golek liyane to, easy choice. Wih, aku di level 90, selamat Mas Yoyo. Gak bisa dibawa spiral itu.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just a bit of a step down from the Palais Mermonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Jir, orangnya dateng coy.
Okay, when did Papa
Panjang
Xavier
umur.
become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
First Catherine and now you.
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags.
Sekarang dia menjadi mbak-mbak biasa coy.
I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple,
Hari-hari
traditional
nyemil.
home cooking can be quite delicious
Kokomi
too.
sama Nida sekalian farming asken material buat banyak banget jir. Ya, itu bakal memakan waktu 1 bulan lebih sih. Loh, kenapa kayak beda-beda gitu ya suara Farina? Enggak beda sih. Sebenarnya ini suara asli sih kayak. Bukan kayak sih. Ini suara asli, tapi pas selama 500 tahun tuh dia acting gitu, makanya suaranya kayak melengking gitu. Gak bosan kah makan makaroni?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato
Aku
sauce
pengen jalan-jalan
one
nih
week,
Jepang,
macaroni
pasti
bolognese the
rame.
next.
Aku pengen nih Kyoto. Ya memang Jepang bagus sih. Tapi juga ada sisi gelap Jepang. Kamu harus tonton sisi gelap Jepang anjir.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude. questioning my cooking skills. The audacity. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
Jadi nolep dia, Cok.
Besides, I'm sure I could master
Pantas
dishes like
sih, yoi.
electrofosilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Ya bisa, anjir.
Sorry, we're sorry. Please don't be mad.
Bodo amat lah, sisi gelap, sisi terang, sisi buruk, sisi gembira, aku nggak peduli. Yang penting aku seneng lah, wes. Betul, penting seneng sih. Tapi aku penting seneng. Ya udah. Silakan ya mencari waifu dulu. Gimana caranya menjadikan nyata? Mending 3D, 3D. Terus dicanin Jepang, enak.
Hang on a sec. You weren't exactly holding back either.
Ya. Kami kesini mau ngobrolin sesuatu.
Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision.
Wah, langsung BGM serem-seremnya keluar, so.
Don't worry. It's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Iya.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now.
Oke.
So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
Prince, nickname Genshin ku ganti ya, juga kangen ya. Dateku ganti nickname. Ih, kalian pacaran kah? Kulingku tak print kayak foto ibu. Kamu mau jalan-jalan sama bantal tak?
I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense.
Ada hubungan apa kalian anjir? What
After
the
all,
hell?
I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline
Kenapa,
your
Cok?
casting request.
Matamu pacaran. Oh, mesra ya? Kangen-kangenan ya? Anjing. Aku udah dikasih nama panggilan akun kamu. Namanya Wah, kalian romantis ya? Kalian bertiga.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
Sampai bikin panggilan sayang tuh. Ora ono bukan apa-apa, Bang. Aku mau melu ae sing diomongno deh. Ayo nih ae. Simple ya kamu ya.
True, but I have made a decision to
Wah, ini
retire
ceritanya
from the
bosenin
stage.
tak boy?
Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all
Ya
over
ditolak,
again.
Cok.
But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Kamu mikirnya gitu tuh.
Paimon can understand.
Makasih lah. Oh, ini kalian bersahabat gitu kan?
But this is just a one-off
Sekarang
party
ini ya
for
kayak
someone who's sick.
persahabatan
Sure,
cowok
that's
tuh kayak
okay.
dipandang aneh gak sih sekarang tuh? Kayak dulu aku sekolah temen-temen cowok kayak ya kita saling saling bersama gitu nggak ada yang aneh ya, tapi kalau sekarang bakal dicap gay nggak sih anjir?
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having
Pengen
a
gue kasih
boundary
nama
in
apa
the first
nanti?
place.
Tuh, ya tuh, aku sih udah ngasih nama Mas Hoyo ke dia, biar nggak ketuker ya namanya.
So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay,
Yeah.
guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Nope.
Short and to the point. Okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I
Anjir,
go asking them for
kita bisa
help.
pilih salah sendiri loh.
Look, I'm
Anjir,
sorry, okay?
kacau.
I'm sorry I drew a line in the sand without thinking about every possible grain on the other side.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Aku lihat cowok jalan berdua bareng tuh kayak gimana gitu, tapi kalau cewek kok pantas-pantas aja ya. Makanya itu, Cok.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up
Dulu
the wrong
sebenarnya
tree.
udah kayak
I don't
aneh
want
gitu,
this
tapi
job, nor do I
sekarang
know of
lebih
anyone
aneh
else
lagi,
who
Cok,
would.
gitu maksudnya ya.
Sorry, I didn't mean
Tuh,
for that
jadi
to sound
anehnya,
so
Cok.
harsh. I wish I could help
Apalagi
really.
sekarang ada
But
isu-isu
if
kayak
I
gitu,
thought
jadi
I
kayak
had the answer to this problem,
pertemanan
I would've said so by now.
semakin sulit gitu ya. Cari teman cowok sekarang semakin sulit.
It's alright, Farina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh,
Gua kasih nama
everyone in the
family,
troupe will be so
waduh.
disappointed. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. Alright then, we'll see you around, Farina.
Nyerah kah kita kah?
Toodaloo to you too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Ya, udah selesai kah? Amat aja.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision.
Iya sih.
Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Siti-siti di lawannya Jomo, ini terlalu akrab.
What's going
Iya
on?
bro,
Are they arguing?
kayak gitu ya. Sekarang makin sulit, Cok.
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm
Oh,
going to
ini
take a step back?
Dalpi yang sakit-sakitan itu, Cok.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my
Oh, malah
behalf?
gelutan nih.
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform.
Iya kan? Aneh tapi
Excuse me,
nyata,
but can you
betul.
both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Gagal, bro.
So,
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
Jelas sih, Furina kesel mesti. Wes acting 500 tahun ya.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such
Okay.
bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oke.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Kalau tadi si Furina setuju, terus ternyata bantuannya nggak diperluin, aduh. Furina pasti sedih.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down.
Only joking, calm down.
Guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you.
Oke.
So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Oke.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
Katanya dia dikasih obat baru. Mungkin dia bisa perform dengan baik ya.
I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So, the last thing I want is to be left out.
Oke.
Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Oke. Paimon, wait a sec.
Sure.
Farina. Anjir.
Hey, how did you... I was just
Ternyata
passing
mau
by
dia,
because
Cok.
I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping
Sendiri,
list.
fuck.
all right, I'm coming. No need to drag me.
Mungkin dulu wong nek jomo gila nih. Nek ngeyuri paling ya soalnya nek ngeyuri tuh para cowok-cowok pada suka gitu. Jadi nggak ada yang bilangin bahwa itu aneh gitu.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned. That's all.
Dari dulu sampai sekarang masih sundere, Jir.
When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Terus kenapa nggak langsung ke sini?
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Farina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as Lady. Just Farina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband?
Iya, kenapa tuh?
If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
Nah, nek cowok seneng delok Yuri, apa cewek seneng delok enggak. Cewek tuh nggak suka banget sama cowok gaya. Jijik banget malah. Itu mungkin apa ya? Salah satu alasan kenapa kalau cowok barengan berdua gitu dipandang aneh gitu. Soalnya cewek yang bilang gitu. Makanya para cowok-cowok tuh pada insecure gitu kayak, aduh, jangan, ntar aku dibenci sama cewek yang itu gitu. Kayak gitulah. Tapi kalau si Si cewek-cewek yang ngeyuri, para cowok-cowok nggak ada yang komplain, malah pada suka. Makanya bisa, cewek tuh nggak aneh kalau ya berpelukan gitu.
Since we lost our director,
Ngelek gak?
she was the heart and
Ngelek kan
soul of our
harusnya.
troupe. She kept us going.
Semoga enggak lah. Keadaan semakin memburuk setelah ketua kami pergi, yaitu roh dan jiwa grup ini. Dia yang memacu kami semua untuk maju. Siapa bro?
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And
Walah.
tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
Leadernya namanya Aureli, tapi dia kena lot primordial. Boleh bahas sing me ado lagi mau esok cuy. What?
What?
Anjir. Aureli ngomong sama kayak aku.
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to
Oh
justice.
gitu kah?
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us.
Oh gitu.
People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
Okay.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Pertunjukan ini tuh buat persembahan buat mendiang leadernya.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Farina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway.
Okay.
I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member.
Ini coba perannya Farina baru kelihatan. Jadi mereka tetap tampil nih para aktor-aktornya.
But only if
Tapi
you
leadernya
feel this is
digantiin
something that
sama
would help,
Farina
of course.
buat yang bikin cerita-cerita.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
Keren sih.
We unfortunately don't have
Ini
any
tuh kayak
budget for
cerita
a consultant
penyair
now.
suasana gitu
Will that
sih.
be a problem?
Ya kita udah dihadapkan dengan masalah yang berat-berat terus kan. Ini dikasih ya slice of life, cerita ringan.
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing,
Bang, suara
is
dubbing
that
kok
you
gemes?
tell me
Oh,
some more
anjir,
about the
sorry
life
guys.
and work of your late
Aku
director.
tadi padahal cuman ngecek speakerku, malah lupa matiin. Ini udah bener nih.
Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the opera Epicles
Thank you
is
udah
that there's a
diingetin.
lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high.
Sekarang Furina lebih merakyat nih.
The law
Keren sih.
only judges
Mungkin di
criminal
masa depan dia
behavior
bakal
and does
dipilih
not
lagi sih
weigh human
sebagai
emotion.
presiden, mungkin
The
kayak
court's verdict can
pemimpin
settle the
negara
question of
gitu ya.
criminal
Bisa jadi sih.
liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
Menjatuhkan putusan bisa menjernihkan emosi. Semuanya meluap keluar, lalu mengalir ke yang tak terbatas.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, for
Okay.
chance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
Mon, jangan Mon.
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Karena kamu yang perlu, aku mau.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
Oke. Nanti bro. ...150 meter tuh jauh anjing. Sini lah. Bulan 12 ini tanggal berapa sih? Desember. Entah lah, aku nggak memperhatikan tanggal sih. Kemarin sih 31, harusnya ini 30 sih bro. Harusnya 30 sih. Emang kenapa anjir? Ini kan rumahnya bagus gini cok, dibilang kecil. Iyo yang baru datang welcome semuanya. Lumayan sih ini gede cok.
Huh? Lady Farina?
Alah, Lady Farina.
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Ini anggota yang lain.
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Farina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Farina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction. You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it.
Sama-sama.
We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Nice.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Jadi masalahnya bukan cuma pemeran utama wanita.
Yeah, we've been
Tenang, ada
battling
Farina di
issues
sini.
on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family.
Oke, tokoh utamanya adalah Oceanid muda yang menjelma jadi manusia. Keluarganya menentang tindakan itu.
She longed to live just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect.
31 cuy. Iya kan? Mau kemana Rins?
But one day, her true identity was exposed. and her world came crashing down around her.
Oke.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script.
Mungkin ntar ceritanya dibikin kayak dia menerima jati dirinya sebagai Oceanid, terus para manusia juga menerima gitu, kayak habis itu hidup secara berdampingan kah?
We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
Oh gitu.
We still
Nggak punya
haven't
leader
decided
sulit
between
sih.
a happy ending or a true to life
Nggak
tragedy.
kemana-mana bang, cuma tanya. Anjir, gara-gara Raiden kah?
By true to life,
Masih 20 hari
you
lagi
mean
bro.
the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own.
Oke.
And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Oke, protagonisnya kayaknya cewek sih. Ini pacarnya cowok, Paulo namanya. Nggak mungkin cewek kan, ini nama cowok sih harusnya.
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way.
Suaranya jadi kayak dulu lagi, jir.
I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing.
Oh, masuk akal.
But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Hehe.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending.
Oke.
He went back to Poisson a few days ago.
Orang
Said
Poisson.
that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors,
Iya.
given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson?
Ya, sedih kan?
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Super Soul. Bentar bro, liquidku habis. Ambil dulu.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Langsung ke bosan kah? Empat jarene ono settingan grafik anyar ke player device low end ben luwih aman. Iya kah? Internet sih masih bisa diakali sih, tapi kalau device sulit sekali bro. Kabar bagus sih kalau gitu ya. Tim codingnya MiHoYo berarti berjuang keras sih. Aduh, ada pesan. Anjir salah. Siapa coy? Dori. Dori siapa bro? Dori. Emang ada karakter yang namanya Dori jir? Toko anyar neno, waduh. Sulit was. Apalagi kalau belum kerja, masih anak sekolah. Tapi si Rins kayaknya udah lulus gak sih? Rins lo kerja gak Rins?
If I remember correctly, this is where he stayed.
Sekarang HP murah udah bisa main Genshin semua sih kayak. Sekarang HP lebih murah gak sih? Aku biasanya kalau mau beli HP tuh nunggu keluaran paling baru terus nyari bekasnya gitu. Beli dari orang-orang yang bosan.
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Tunda
Okay,
terus.
then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was
Oh,
a
no,
case of
Fia
mistaken
juga, coy.
identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Farina, too.
Iya lumayan bang. Dari ini nyeting resolusi GPU CPU sing pantes karo. Oh, wah itu tugas yang sulit sih. Soalnya device kan banyak kan ya. Ada banyak sekali device Android dan harus dioptimalkan semuanya sih. Kerja keras sekali sih itu si MiHoYo sih. Soalnya nggak mudah loh. Temanku ada yang kerjanya coding gitu, katanya kalau mau optimalin game tuh benar-benar sulit sekali.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Kalian cari Paolo ya? Mungkin dia masih perlu waktu. Oh, oke, kita jalan-jalan dulu.
It's okay. We can just wait here.
Jangan.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll.
Kenapa Jir?
Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Apa cok maksudnya? Kok
How
gak
are
ngerti ya?
things in Poisson now? Any better?
Oh, gara-gara habis banjir makanya kayak Navia bilangnya nanti aja lah, kasihan pada berduka kan. Iki lagi pirang ulang HP ku. Oh, pirang bulan. Oh, baru beli cok. Masa mau ganti lagi? Yo, nanti ning PS nge add-on required resource package. Yoi. Jadi tiap update dia ngulang dari awal ya, soalnya biar optimize aja sih di PS. Kalau ada uang semua itu mudah bagi MiHoYo. Suki bisa MiHoYo.
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
Keren sih developer yang mau ngoptimalin gamenya tuh. Kayak game-game sekarang tuh banyak yang nggak optimal sih di PC. Kayak developernya tuh males banget optimalin di PC-PC yang kentang gitu. Aku ngertinya developer yang apa ya, kayak bagus banget optimalisasinya tuh Resident Evil sih. Tuh gila banget sih. RE engine itu wow. Tuh visi kentang semuanya bisa main sih, gila.
I'm
Optimize banget.
sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all
Apalagi
have
sekarang ada
painful
teknologi yang
memories,
namanya
but
FSR.
we don't have to let them
Itu tambah
cloud
males
everything
lagi
we
sih
do.
developer buat optimize gamenya, karena FSR tuh bisa ngebus FPS. Jadi gamenya yang harusnya jalan di 60, dia ngandelin FSR biar bisa jalan 60.
And if
Padahal
you're
harusnya
trying to make a new
FSR tuh
start,
biar bisa jalan di
perhaps it's
atas
best if you don't bring up the
standar
past
gitu.
all the time.
Entahlah, masa depan game nggak tahu aku.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point.
Kayak kita tuh diwajibkan buat beli GPU baru terus. Tutor genake primone appearance. Nabung 1 tahun, Cok. Kuat kamu. Dia nabung 1 tahun dari vendor Yoimiya sebelumnya. Iki 4.4 update gede. West Mob karakter baru, skin baru. Jelas bro, ulang tahun Cina coy. Nabung gak usah gacha.
But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
Lah oke baru mau uripno mau kayak download Genshin kah? Kayak gitu sih. Ya beli HP baru, hidup langsung download Genshin anjir.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget
Oh,
after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe.
masuk akal sih.
To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Harina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Yes sir.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Kok bengi HP ku downloadnya ya bengi kuwi. Oh teko bengi HP-ne. Terus downloadnya langsung seketika gitu kah? Jalan jam 11:30 baru jam 3 isu-isu. Isu-isu nek pas tak tinggal turu kok. Pas aku oh. Ya rezekimu berarti. Kalau bangun-bangun masih download sih sedih sih. Oke. Temani Frina curhat. Nah ini kayaknya momen yang penting sih ini. Frina curhat. Anjir diliatin sama orang-orang. Masih pada nggak terima
I'm so
tuh.
grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Oh,
What do you
Patterson.
mean by that? You expected me to just keep running and hiding from my responsibility forever.
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move.
Okay.
How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Okay. Sip.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet.
Sana ya.
I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm.
Nangis. Sedih Jawa. Awal aku tertarik mbak Genshin ini gara-gara roh fan arte Senhei yang menggoda. Bisa gitu ya. Berarti Genshin bikin karakter-karakter yang gak jadi wis. Berhasil lah pokoknya lah.
And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true.
Gak bisa dijelasin Cak. Stay alone brother.
But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
Ya untuk emang ceritanya mesti gini bang. Sedih Cak.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting
Tapi
the truth.
pas momen mati-matinya nggak diliatin sih. Masih
It got harder and
masih
harder
aman
to
lah buat
bear.
anak-anak sih.
And I became more lonely and isolated.
Kalau yang paham ceritanya kayak kita-kita gini. Ternyata banyak yang mati gitu.
Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves.
Jujur sekali Anda Rins. Ini lagi momen sedih-sedih. Jangan bahas 99 ya.
Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Jangan menyerah Furina, nanti lihat Melusin sekarang diterima.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Coba lihat kebebasan ini sebagai hadiah.
Reward?
Karena sekarang kamu bebas mengutarakan isi hati. Kamu tidak perlu lagi merana sendirian.
I guess so.
I guess so. Ini guys karakter kan, betul. Oh baru ini. Untungnya Hoyo nggak karakter playable mati nih Genshin. Nah universe Leo wes beda cerita nih. Paling malah. Oh iya sih. Katanya di game lainnya Mihoyo tuh lebih brutal gitu ngebantiin karakternya. Gampang mati di game sebelah anjir. KP dipatahin nih. Primo saiki save. Oh 7.000 dikit sih. Kayak minimal tuh 16.000. 14.000 lah. 14.000 termasuk banyak. Soalnya bisa garantin 5 star. Peluk Furinanya bang, peluk. Kalau bisa gitu ya. Tak cup-cup bisa. Lumayan semangat aja. Baik ya orangnya ya. Sirin anjir. Bohong dia cowok. Dikit itu.
Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing a secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands.
Aku baru 35. Waduh. Jangan dikasih tahu bro, tambah menyakitkan anjir.
Alright, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Let's head back and check it out. Dikali 5 iso munculi kowe aku. Anjir 3/5 dong.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Waduh, perhatian ya dia anjir.
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Tuh guys, jangan gendut ya. Kasihan orang yang punya penyakit tuh pengen sehat anjir, malah kita ngerusak tubuh kita sendiri. Semangat headku ngulinya coy. Udah setengah perjalanan itu.
We're back. Could you maybe put your differences
Ntar kalau udah 14.000 udah bisa garantin 5 star sih.
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead.
Oke, saatnya diet untuk menjadi raja. Waduh.
Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too
Tapi
much
gak
longer.
apa-apa sih. Gak apa-apa. Penting kamu sehat ya.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
Emosian itu.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too, like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid.
Oke.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy.
Story Himeko ning Honkai Impact 3 sedih cuy. Wah, gak relate coy, gak main anjir. Meskipun udah 4 tahun lebih tapi ceritanya nggak ada yang hilang. Kayak Kimi no Nawa sih, membekas banget. By the way, Himeko HSR udah turun gunung, bawa mati lagi anjir. Emang hobi matiin Himeko
She
sih
kept
Hoyover.
quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing.
Kasian sih Welt lan melihat Himeko mati dan lagi mati.
It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like
Yo,
your
I'm back
home.
bang. Welcome Oka. Gimana? Ikan gak?
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a
Ikan tadi yang
huge
terakhir,
burden on
weh.
her.
Mantap. Susun jadi. Ikan dia, Cok. Nice. Keras sekarang M-nya anjir. Iya kah?
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found
Tuh
me.
kalian pada main PUBG semua
As
dah.
the child of a murderer. My parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
Sebagai anak pembunuh, orang tuaku jelas tidak pernah ada waktu aku kecil dulu. Aku lalu anjir. Anak buangan semua sih. Orang yang ikut teater ini. Apakah Arkon Pyro Simurata nanti disamakan storynya kayak Himeko turun gunung? Dan dikabarkan di Natlan ada 2 Arkon Pyro, tapi beda daerah. Like dari mana anjir? Orang menginstal tapi males main. Encen ngono sih. Kita tuh punya banyak game tapi nggak pernah dimainin anjir. Yang dimainin pasti cuma 1 doang. Kayak Mobile Legend yo, Genshin.
The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, Come on. You must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer. And one day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. I thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
Kemarin pas main aku turun sampai silver year. Nggak tahu berapa tahun pensi, sekarang diamond 3. Diamond sih udah limit ya. Kayak udah bisa main lah diamond. Wih, aku sih aku bronze. Gameku kayak anjir. Emang gitu coy. Kita tuh kayak downloadin aja semua, tapi nggak pernah dimainin. Ya bang, nanti di Natalan ada 2 Archon, Underworld sama Upperworld. Emang bisa gitu kah Archon kebelah jadi 2? Tapi Furina sih bisa sih kebelah jadi 2, sisi manusia sama sisi dewa. Kemungkinan sih ya masuk akal sih, masih masuk lah. Ya akun dulu tier S. Wah gila sih, sepuh ini. Mengerikan.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Iki wonge
Oh, you're
protagonis.
finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Farina.
Farina? The Farina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Nah, aku main PUBG kemarin turun di bronze. Baru main sekali langsung tak uninstall gara-gara kaku mainnya. Oh, gara-gara kaku mainnya. Ya emang gitu sih, semua yang main game FPS pertama kali pasti kaku ya. Ntar kalau main terus 100 match juga udah jago-jago sendiri. Bukan kebelah sih, mungkin lebih ke memimpin 2 fraksi gitu kan. Di Natalan ada perang nggak berhenti. Mungkin selek antar 2 pengikut. Dan oh iya sih, ono kapten juga sih, ada Fatwe di situ. Seru kayak di Natalan ya. Kalau gelut-gelutan. Dulu aku main PUBG sampai rank Ice 1 mau ke Conqueror. Gila Rins. Seneng banget kamu main PUBG berarti ya. Game Battle Royale sing tak main ke Call of Duty aku. Kalau Call of Duty sih aku lebih suka yang 5 versus 5 nya sih. Lebih ya cepat ketemu musuh. Aku kalau main Battle Royale tuh dulu sempat main FF sih aku. Main FF bertahun-tahun anjir, kayak main Battle Royale gitu. Dulu main FF gara-gara apa sih? Gara-gara gak kuat main PUBG cowok. Bisanya main FF anjing. Tapi setelah bertahun-tahun main Battle Royale, aku kayak anjir nyakitin coba main Battle Royale itu. Kita udah ngeloading lama-lama tapi akhir-akhirnya kita dibunuh tanpa kita tahu siapa pembunuhnya. Kayak di sniper dari jauh gitu. Nega main Warzone. Warzone aku ada stream Warzone. Pernah main Warzone cuman ya aku nggak pernah main FPS di PC jadi cupu gitu anjir.
Same here.
Shortcut kan ini enggak sih, nggak ada short Warzone sih. Nggak aku upload gitu. Ada video lama main Warzone.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I?
Nanti kan ada Warzone versi mobile kan, tinggal tunggu aja sih. Kayaknya bakal rame sih itu. Setelah HP ku layarnya bergaris hitam. Disitulah aku mulai pensi main PUBG. Waduh. Yo, nanti ada di mobile Warzone, sangar sih.
Yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my
Aku
version
suka
of the
banget
script.
ini sih, kayak animasi nembaknya tuh sangat fluid. Kayak ya nggak kaku gitu anjir. Call of Duty itu.
I'm sure you're
Satisfying
already
coy
familiar
nembak
with the
orang tuh.
beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes.
Apa gambar anjir. Coba screenshot gak ya? Oke, nice.
The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic.
Oke.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Keren sih. Ceritanya apa sih?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Main Warzone serba manual. Tapi mungkin kalau di mobile lebih dibikin simple kayaknya. Tahun depan bang, aku udah pra-download dari awal sampai sekarang nggak ada kabar. Pra-register kan maksudnya. Aku nunggu Valorant mobile sih. Valorant mobile? Valorant mobile. Entahlah, kayaknya bisa sih. Tapi aku nggak ngerti gimana, nggak bisa bayangin sih aku UI-nya kayak gimana ntar. Kalau mobile gagal rilis. Dengar devnya tadinya megang entah berhenti atau mundur. Sekarang full dipegang Riot, entah kapan. Mungkin nggak jadi rilis deh. Sulit coy anjir, Valorant buat mobile tuh nggak bisa bayangin sih.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis.
Bukan gagal sih, tapi lebih ke entah kapan masalahnya. Riot ya kayaknya duitnya udah ngalir terus sih. Jadi nggak perlu lah kita ngembangin lagi gitu. Fokus aja yang ada.
Her lover accepts her for who she is and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret.
Wow, kok difitnah iki Oceanid.
The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover and
Wah,
the
kayak
rest of
ceritanya
humanity.
Furina sih iki.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Ya supaya menyadarkan manusia sih kalau bunuh ya nggak terjadi apapun.
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
Padahal di Cina udah ada yang kebagian tes bedanya, tapi identin dulu sih. Ah gitu kah? Agak kecewa. Main aja sih di warnet, cok. Kalau nggak gitu, buat PC yang murah-murah gitu 2 juta. Kayak Valorant nggak berat-berat banget ya.
there's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
Sad ending sih. Tetap sad ending. Jadi.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless.
Yoi.
On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
Kalau nggak berat sih kata temanku juga, tuh kan. Mending build PC yang murah-murah gitu, kayak part-part lawas bisa main Valo sih. Kayak spek warnet gitu murah sih harusnya. 2 juta full set bisa sih. Nggak set ending ya, Ki. Oke. Kita coba lihat ceritanya ya. Ini sih mereka lagi kebingungan buat bikin ending sih.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
Dulu main Hyperfront yang agak mirip sama Valorant di mobile. Hyperfront. Dan sekarang gamenya hilang karena plagiat. Oh, alah gitu kah? Tapi kataku nanggung sih bang. Nanggung kah? Tapi kalau duitnya dikit sih nggak apa-apa sih, nggak masalah sih bikin yang murah-murah dulu. Kayak build Athlon 3000G kayak aku dulu juga enak sih, masih bisa di-upgrade ke part yang lebih baru. pada download game anjir, keren
Doesn't the
sih
way
kalian.
she suddenly told you to
Explore
leave
game.
the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's
Tutup
playing the role of
gamenya.
the villain?
Aku dulu dikasih tahu temanku ada game bagus apa ya? Saya tak lihat ya, apa tadi? Apa tadi judulnya? Hyperfront. Oh bukan ini yang ku mainin. Apa ya cowok? Lupa kayak judulnya ya. Oke 3 versus 3 gitu kalau nggak salah. Ada skill juga cok, kayak Valorant. Game mobile mirip Valorant. Ya nggak ada yang muncul. Aku lupa judulnya sih. Kayak karakternya tuh lucu-lucu gitu guys. Bocil-bocil. Terus grafiknya kartunis gitu. Ya tidak ada info.
Yeah. She's been overwhelmed by grief.
T3 arena nah
I
iya
think the
bener
director's
anjir.
death
Ngerti
hit him
nara
hardest of
anjir.
all.
Itu bagus tuh. T3 arena. Bener T3 arena. Iya bener. T3 arena, Cok. T3 arena tuh keren ya. Hehe, lucu anjing. Aku sempat main, cuman kena mental pas musuhnya sniper semua, Cok. Coba aku jago ya, gila. Nggak masuk akal. Aku juga pernah main, seru itu. Iya, Cok, seru banget, anjir. Tadinya 3 versus 3, sekarang bisa 5 versus 5, iya kah? Aku delok live-mu karo delok Pokemon yang TV. Oke, nice. Main Bloodstrike gak? Bloodstrike game baru. Gak bisa di emulator bro, udah tak coba ya. MSI-nya ngeri jir di game itu, serasa cheat. Apalagi kalau bisa main sniper itu 1 hit 1 kill, coy, gila sih.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with O'Reilly.
What? You
Lah.
kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel.
Oke.
I did tell her how I felt once. She turned me down pretty
Anjir,
much
langsung
straight away.
ditolak, Cok.
She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troop, and I'd always be there for... I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troop no longer required her constant attention.
Mini Militia, apa ya anjir? Gak pernah denger gamenya sih. Game tembak-tembakan juga kan? Kalau Minecraft sih legend coy. Semua orang pasti pernah main Minecraft lah. Itu tuh game dari bocil sama orang tua juga suka anjing. Game segala usia ya. Mini Milita sing mod-modan. Mod-modnya ini kah? Modnya Minecraft kah?
Well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life.
Anime Pokemon api sih, tapi cewek tepos-tepos loh. Ada yang gede, yang timnya Rocket itu. Itu paling gede sih.
And now,
Itu nggak tepos,
That day
itu
will
lebih
never
ke real life nggak sih anjir. Yang nonton juga bocil-bocil Pokemon ya kali dikasih yang gede-gede anjir.
so if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilmont once and for all. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
1-2 sing gede, ya ora apa-apa sih, normal kan. Di real life juga 1/10 cewek yang gede.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Vilmo.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes.
I do whatever it takes.
Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Oke, let's go. Ini kah tempatnya? Nah, ini tuh tempatnya yang jadi aktor antagonis, penentang tokoh utama. Digimon bareng, wah like Digimon gak nonton sih aku. Dulu aku tuh suka nonton Beyblade kalau nggak salah, yang gasing itu.
This is tough
Sama
going.
yang Tamiya seru jir.
Delphi, are you sure?
Lah kok ada musuh?
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Farina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium. Miss Farina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in
Acting
distress
manis
more than
aja.
anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
Ya gitulah hidup.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Farina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Digimon, Paimon, anime gasing, anime kartu, Ultraman, wah seru-seru sih emang. Ya kita tuh dulu nggak punya pilihan selain menunggu hari Minggu ya. Kayak dulu tuh kayak terbatas gitu hiburan, jadi sangat membekas ya. Beda sama anak sekarang, mau nonton apapun tinggal buka YouTube dan bisa ditonton sekarang juga. Enak sekali ya. Dulu kita harus menunggu 1 minggu supaya bisa nonton episode selanjutnya. Habis itu ada iklannya lagi, anjir lah. Anime kartu sing MC-in rambut kuning. Lah sing Yu-Gi-Oh kah? Yu-Gi-Oh. Terus ada anime yang sepeda-sepeda itu juga seru sih.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Aku ngomong seru-seru tapi sebenarnya nggak ngerti alur ceritanya tuh kayak gimana. Entah dulu tuh kita nonton kartun menikmati aja sih. Masih gak ngerti ceritanya kayak piye.
Gather! I will have
I
order!
will have order. Jai.
Fallen leaves.
Adorn!
Lo Bruna taruh. Dar. Lah gak kena. Sini nak. Masih ada anjay. Wah party yang sangat jelek. Party yang sangat jelek. Frozen. Oh Frozen mah bisa dihantam cok.
Be sanctified.
Strike a pose!
Rise! Order guide you.
Bravo! Good show!
Bravo, good
You
job.
certainly live up to your reputation.
Ya sepedaan
Yeah,
lupa
thank
namanya
you.
ya cok.
Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Rela ditabuk gak ngaji demi Naruto. Real. Aku tunen nih kayak sekolah sore gara-gara Naruto cok. Kalau sekolah sore pulang-pulang udah ending anjir. Naruto wis hampir selesai gitu.
Vilma, are you there?
Yang aku inget yang lewati rintangan iya cok, yang sepeda kan. Aku ingetnya tuh paling memorable tuh rintangannya di pohon-pohon gitu, ada yang nyangkut gitu anjir. Di ranting pohon. Pohonnya kan gede gitu, dijadiin tempat ini, Cok. Tempat balapan.
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Farina doing here?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
Anime biyen seru-seru tapi gak ngerti alure, pokoknya HP. Iya anjir, dulu wis pokoknya nek kartun yo apik ngono wis. Penting kartun. Ceritane
So,
speaker kere.
You think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone?
Aku yang paling inget lewatin kayak kapang ayun terus nunggu timing terus libas. Kapak kayu. Oh. Entah lah, aku udah lupa aja, udah lupa episode-episode. Padahal dulu nonton terus pas minggu. Tapi udah hilang aja ingatannya.
I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Viamo, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamo. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything. The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
Dragon Ball, Dora juga. Al Dora sih setiap hari ada coy. Dora sama Chalkton itu. Terus habis itu SpongeBob. Kalau udah ada SpongeBob berarti udah hampir telat jir.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
Iya kan? Dora tuh paling pagi anjir subuh-subuh anjing. Terus habis itu Chalkton. Terus SpongeBob.
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire.
Sing pensil kayak apa jenenge? Jackson coy, Jackson. Pensil kah? Krayon, bukan krayon ding. Kapur itu, dunia kapur kan. Pensil. Emang ada pensil. Kalau pengen tahu kau bangun pagi kebagian ya bener-bener. Kalau kita bangunnya pagi ada Jackson.
So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Waduh.
Isn't that the drink paddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
Kalau kita sekarang lihat Dora kesel jur. Udah tahu di depan mata masih tanya. Tapi kalau dulu asik-asik aja. Kayak memang Dora itu dikhususkan untuk anak-anak ya. Kalau orang dewasa nonton Dora ya malas anjir. Itu sama perabotan bangunan yang bisa ngomong. Handy apa gitu cuy, itu kesukaan adek aku coy. Iya Andy kalau nggak salah sih tukang bangunan, bener-bener. Masih inget Hasan gak bang? Wah udah menghilang coy Hasan, udah ditangani ambek Dedku kayak. Dia katanya fokus sekolah, bisa jadi anak baik-baik dia. Siapa yang waifunya tangnya sih? Anjay.
And then,
Hah? Itu gua. Guys, ada Hasan guys. Kok namanya ganti San?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day.
HP ganti, akun ganti. Anjay, Hasan welcome back coy. Long time no see. Senang bertemu denganmu kembali ya.
I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
Kamu menyebabkan ketua masuk daftar hitam pengedar sinte. Bisa dibilang film ini penyebab ketuanya mati sih. Tapi ya bukan full kesalahan filmen sih.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
you traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered! She was the love of my life! And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show! How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
Masih spek PC sama kan? Masih sama kayak dulu. Wah ini ganti Hasan jenenge cok. Let's go Hasan.
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly.
Mengkoto ke jam
I
berapa
wanted to
nge-live?
apologize to everyone.
Paling jam 11-an lebih sih.
That won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Waduh, kasihan film anjir.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to see your face again!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
Golek goblet yang emblem iyo angel pol. Ya emblem rata tamat loh aku. Mau searching Mobile Legends malah keinget streamer dulu. Aku gak maksudnya. Welcome back bro.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe.
Gimana sekolahnya Hasan? Lancar kah?
But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating.
Anjir bang, aku dapat goblet hydro. Golden Drop. Iya kak, mana lihat. Kalau aku udah C2 tak pakai itu anjir. Nggak apa-apa sih, C1 pakai aja cok. Aku aja pakai hydro goblet. Tetap enak sih, kayak damage-nya tinggi loh. Buat tambah-tambahan sub DPS. Untuk slimmer ini masih on, masih lah. Alhamdulillah, tapi rankingnya paling rendah. Nggak apa-apa sih. Yang penting kita udah berusaha sebaik mungkin, sebisa mungkin kemampuan kita ya. Ranking hanya angka coy. Ntar kalau aku punya anak, nggak aku ranking-rankingan lah. Yang penting dia mau belajar aja. Tenang, aku maunya sabar, nikah sabar nggak ngarah ngelumpuk. Santai, ntar juga dapat.
I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured?
Nasib, bener kan, ranking hanya angka kan? Nggak ada ceritanya, masa depan tergantung pada ranking bro. Semangat Hasan, keluarkan semua kemampuan semaksimal mungkin. Kan di ranking sampai 10 besar, ditulis rapot aku paling rendah ke 10 besarnya. Oh alah, itu mah masih bagus aja dapat ranking cok. Kalau di sekolahku dulu ya, rankingnya sampai bener-bener paling bawah anjir. Kayak dari 24 siswa ada ranking 24. Gokil kan? Kayak diskriminasi murid-murid cok dulu tuh. Ada aku coba bang goblet hydro di kepiting damage-nya 40k, tapi pakai goblet HP dapat 43. Oh, kalau gitu sih mending pakai goblet HP sih. Yang penting subsetnya lebih wangi mana sih, atau pas test run sih. Aku juga gitu pas test run Raiden, tes sendiri aja. Startle arte Raidenku macet di 56 jadi 144. Kalau ada yang ngulfing aman itu. Ratau sinau jawab ngawur ranking loro. Tuh kan, ranking tuh hoki-hokian cok. Kenapa kok hoki-hokian? Karena bisa jadi kayak kelasku dulu, semuanya tuh nggak ada yang sinau. Pas aku SMA semua temanku gak ada yang bener-bener belajar cok, jadi kita ngasal semua, jadi rankingnya hoki-hokian. Rin Senpa masih inget aku? Masih inget semua cok. Hasan, siapa yang bisa lupa sama Hasan gitu, kayak memorable banget aja. Padahal lebih wangi yang hydro bang, JDM dapat 190, tapi ya itu sih, itu perkaranya ya. Kalau HP-nya masih bisa 40.000, pasti lebih bagusan hydro damage bonus.
But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you?
Kalau pakai HP JDM-nya 188, HP-nya 41. Pakai HP aja bisa ngebuff.
What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Aku nggak tahu Hasan bang. Moka belum ada kak pas ada Hasan tuh. Dia suka bikin onar dulu. Tapi bercanda doang. Aku malah ngepost ML karo explore Genshin pasti pas. Kamu terlahir jenius nah. Aku nggak salah anjir pas ujian ranking 2 loh, gigi kan. 2 dari bawah maksudnya, nggak apa-apa coy. Bahkan yang ranking 1 belum tentu dia bisa ngedit video. kayak skill tuh bisa diasah setelah ya pas setelah sekolah, atau skill-skill yang nggak ada di sekolah pun ranking tuh nggak relevan gitu.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
Apa mungkin udah ranking 16? Mending ya. Memang gitu sih ranking, gak jelas sih. Aku ngepost ML di akhir, jadi pas season masih stack di Mythic Romawi. Ya siapa tahu ntar di masa depan jadi pro player kan. Mungkin di akademis tidak terlalu bagus ya, tapi di akademis item skill hafal semua bisa sih. Di real life tuh nggak ada yang bisa dijadikan patokan dari nilai di sekolah ya. Aku dulu dapat nilai 100 di bahasa Indonesia pas di umurku yang sekarang. Bahasa Indonesia aku kayak ya biasa, decent. nggak bisa buat patokan. Dulu tuh kita cuman menghafal anjir.
I'm truly sorry.
Nggak benar-benar menguasai
I really
dan
meant for this
ngerti
to be a genuine
pelajarannya.
apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
Terus contohnya dulu kita ngafalin tabel periodik yang kita sendiri nggak ngerti apa maksudnya, itu atom-atom gitu kan. Sekarang baru paham, ternyata seru. Kayak ya pahamnya sekarang gitu. Dan aku belajar sendiri. Ternyata seru coy, mempelajari atom, terus fungsi apa kayak atom di beberapa material. Aku punya kebiasaan aneh sekarang, tertarik sama fisika. Aku mau stok glory. Aku malah masih di epic nih, udah jarang banget main mythic tuh. Epic lah glory aja ngomongnya anjing. Anjir bang.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
Main immortal wes males. Ancen Mobile Legends kalau udah mythic tuh udah tamat gitu coy. Sekarang sekolah serba digital, ulangan aja di HP aku mah. Tapi alhamdulillah aku nggak nyontek Google. Bagus. Keren sih. Mending dapat serius ya. Kalau kalian udah gede ya, kalian udah ngerti arti berjuang sendiri gitu. Maksudnya kayak yang dibilang orang-orang dulu kan, nggak apa-apa nilai jelek asalkan jujur kan, itu real coy. Soalnya kita benar-benar paham apa yang kita pelajari gitu, meskipun nilainya jelek ya. Beda sama orang-orang yang curang ya ujiannya, nggak dapat apa-apa, rugi. Coba cek foto yang gue kirim bang, baru dapat itu HP persen. HP persen apa hydro damage bonus cuy. Kita streamnya nyantai ya. Ini ceritanya ringan kok. Kirim di mana, Jir? Asin-asin kah? Oh iya. HP persen, IR, CDM. Di upgrade dulu lah, minimal plus 4, Cok. Terlihat meyakinkan sih ini. Ini kalau kebuka apa namanya? Kebuka misal SP flat. Iya sih, SP flat. Oke sih. Baru dapat ceria kah? Masih fresh ini. Upgrade ya, upgrade. Suka kesel kalau tim menang kill malah bisa jadi musuhnya main keroyokan. Ya namanya game ya. Kalau nggak mau dikeroyok mabar, saya mabar 5 orang, seru tuh. Aku aja sekarang kalau main Mobile Legends kalau nggak mabar malas main coy. Letak kesenangan main Mobile Legends tuh mabar sih menurut gue.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Kita kemana coy? Oh, kukira kita ke bawah laut anjir. Soalnya dulu ada tempat markase penjahatnya. Banyak berkas-berkas juga. Atau kalau kayak gitu berkas-berkasnya udah dipindahin ke sini. Oke. Kita minta arsipnya.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look.
CDM naik
Maybe
1
there's
kali
something
doang,
in here
lebihnya
from
ke
after she
IR
was
sama attack
kidnapped.
persen. Aduh, attack persen jir. Buat visual nggak apa-apa, masih bagus itu.
Aha! I found something. To
Aku malah full
whoever
div tuh,
discovers this
masih ada yang
diary.
jelek tuh.
Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators.
Visual SP persen. Oh iya ding, anjir. Lupa aku main sate SP persen cok.
Wait, it cuts off.
Wah ya apa sih tombal namanya.
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Kenapa anjir? Ada yang ditangkap lagi. Ini sudah orang ke-6. Atau sudah 7 ya. Ada yang mencoba kabur kemarin tapi gagal. Dia tidak kelihatan lagi. Belum tentu kemarin sih. Sudah tidak tahu waktu lagi. Maaf, aku tidak tahu menulis ini masih berguna atau tidak. Dan berapa lama lagi masih bisa menulis. Riwayatku sudah kelihatan ujungnya. Tapi yang lebih mengerikan lagi, aku lihat ada orang lain dari rombongan di sini. Aku berhasil melindungi mereka kan? Masih ada, Cok. Ah, ini cerita dari perspektif korban, anjir. Ngerinya, Cok. Dia dengan bangga ya, meskipun dia mati, tapi dia masih bisa melindungi teman-temannya, rombongan theater.
She was so terrified.
Faisal Tank. Dia melihat orang mati di depan matanya, Cok.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Menurut abang motor Sonic 150R bagus nggak? Bagus beat bro, beat. Bagusan beat. Nggak lah, nggak terlalu suka motor sih. Jadi aku cuman melihat fungsinya. Kalau Sonic kayaknya dia nggak cocok buat dipakai di jalan-jalan yang aneh-aneh gitu, kayak jalanan berbatu, berlumpur. Terus buat ya harian, kayak bensinnya boros juga nggak sih? Kayak, terus kenyamanannya juga kurang gitu. Kayak tipis banget nggak sih motornya? Mending Matic bisa bantu emak, betul sekali, bisa bawa galon, bisa beli-beli ke Indomaret. Menurutku ya, kalau Sonic bawa galon gimana ceritanya, coy? Oh, masih ada catatan. Hah? Ini kayak pesan buat Furina guys, anjir. Jika kamu menjadi manusia, jangan sampai rahasiamu ketahuan. Atau akibatnya harus kamu terima, yakni penderitaan dan kesepian untuk selamanya. Iya maksudnya.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Full coupling juga bisa. Tapi kata orang-orang motor jamet. Iya, Sonic ku jamet banget, cowok. Janganlah, jangan Sonic.
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well.
Itu emang mini version cerita Verona. Masuk akal sih.
She had their
Dari awal
utmost
juga
trust,
mirip banget ceritanya.
admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Anjir,
I'm feeling a little.
siapa sangka ada tangga, jir. Assalamualaikum, mati kocak. Ribu jir, keren. Bisa lah nambah-nambah. Lumayan. Tuh. Nah, nih, Cok. Ya. Ya, atas, Pak. Cong nih aja sing turu. Tapi tangga ini gak ketok. Lah kok lebih rendah sih? Gimana sih, nying? Aduh, di sini bener.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary.
Panggai BGM sing loading masuk Genshin. Sing pas bengi apik. Loading signaturnya Genshin kan?
Well, Vilmon, if we put the past
Di
aside
daerah
for
abang
now,
motor
do you think
yang
you can
hit
bring
itu
yourself to
apa?
go ahead with the show?
Motor yang paling sukai cewek kan maksudnya? Vespa Matic, terus Alex mungkin, Sheriff. Kalau yang PCX NMAX itu udah kayak biasa gitu di sini. Paling Aerox. Paling disenangi sama cewek sih Vespa Matic sih. Semua kalangan. Apa ya? Satu gak mau milih satu gak? Apa ya? Golden Staff, halo warga Otni. Otni kota mana, Cok? Halo Golden Staff, ada info apa? Welcome, bro.
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance.
Apa ya, motor
to make
apa ya,
this a show
San?
worthy of our director.
Semua kalangan, semua orang bisa pakai. Vespa Matic sih, mahal lah bijir.
I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Gue dapat pesan dari oknum. Oknum apa anjir?
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing.
Oknum. Mana sih Golden Staff? Jangan-jangan dia udah ditangkap lagi anjir.
If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance.
Tulisannya, you have to get a job or something to make money. This is my job, bro. Kau udah lihat gameplay baru gaming kah? jamming. Kayaknya bakal seru, Jer. Iya, plan setek dia kan mainnya. Mana, Cok? Otherwise, we will give you a little small gift. Itu pesannya dari oknum. Gimana ceritanya, dia nyuruh kita nyari kerja, terus otherwise tuh atau kita akan beri kamu hadiah kecil. Gue jadi ngeri, Cok. Itu pesan siapa, anjir?
And
Pesan
our
dari
two
siapa,
main
anjir?
emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope.
Nggak ngerti
Just
arahnya
the most
kemana gue.
mesmerizing things in this world. I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on this.
Thank you for the vote of
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal.
Masalahnya gue habis roasting para cawapres karena nggak bahas pendidikan. Oh, oke. Kalau nyenggol-nyenggol cawapres coba ya itu. Bener sih, ini negara demokrasi, tapi I don't think so. Semua yang berpendapat ditangkap sekarang. Takut hidup gue jadi 360 berubah. Ayo lu, habis ngapain kamu? Tempat gak jadi full UE. Bisa-bisanya Naida langsung rerun di 4.4 sama Yae. Senhei kayaknya gagal rerun. Iya, kan masih belum final kan itu.
During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Lihat dari 3.4 kemarin, emang kayaknya gitu, Rens. Nggak full Charlie Way. Jadi kayaknya sama Senhei cuma hadir skin doang, bukan rerun. Tapi paling Senhei rerun sih kayaknya. Tapi kalau kayaknya mungkin tidak ya. Dan sirine berlalu lalang di jalan utama. Cuman perasaanmu aja sih itu. Nggak nyariin kamu.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Entah kebetulan atau apa. Oh, aku udah paham sih pesannya kayak gimana. Itu tuh pesan kayak, ngapain sih kamu ngurusin kita gitu, cari aja kerjaan gitu, dan menghasilkan duit gitu daripada ngerecokin kita gitu. Terus pesan kedua, atau kalau kamu mau ngerecokin terus, aku akan kirim sebuah hadiah kecil. Kalian mau tahu hadiah kecilnya apa? Ditangkap, Cok. Ngerinya anjir kalau Ren.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. Alright, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and
Semoga kamu
procure a
baik-baik
stage.
saja, Golden Staff.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
Padahal gue cuma pengen ada perubahan pada pendidikan. Waduh, lu tahu sendiri. Iya sih. Cuman kalau kita nggak punya kekuatan buat bersuara sih, bakal hilang ya. Waduh. Kayaknya Let and Ride sekarang bakal seru. Dilihat dari rewardnya. Dari dulu Let and Ride pasti bagus-bagus sih rewardnya. Lebih bagus daripada anniversary.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you?
Gas.
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Buat apa 6 gigaan sih buat mobile? Mungkin sih.
Well, then don't disappoint me.
Komentar jir. Tenang. Cuman kebetulan doang itu.
If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me
Kan
too.
masih dikasih kesempatan tadi katanya pesannya. Otherwise. Kalau kamu nggak komen lagi sih harusnya aman. Anjir 6 giga ke update Fontaine. Mungkin 5 giga sih. By the way, cloud Genshin nyambung server utama. Iya kah? Berarti lebih banyak yang bisa masuk gitu kan? Harusnya.
Come on, we'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette. I know just where to find him.
Oke, kita izin dulu ke Nervilette. Entahlah, aku gak ngerti sih updatean berapa giga. Yang ku tahu tinggal pencet aja sih. Halo Nervilette.
Look at that!
Nervilette bertemu
Looks like our
Nervilette
best
ya.
You were just guessing?
Ternyata Furina cuma nebak
Here.
lokasi nih.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is
Soalnya aku nggak
complex
bisa
and can be
masuk, Jir.
somewhat cumbersome.
Ya dari
Given that the
dulu
request is
Genshin
coming
Cloud
from the three
penuh
of you,
terus coy.
I see no reason to make things unduly difficult.
Moga aja nggak sampai 6 giga. Kalau 6 giga mateng gua. Ya kalau 6 giga jalan satu-satunya sih install ulang Jir.
The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage.
Wah ditonton Nervilette
I
gila.
will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Betul, kalau main cloud kalau nggak top up lama sih. Yang top up aja ngantri coy. Apalagi yang free to play. Nggak bakal kebagian sih.
what do you mean?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are.
Padahal pengen main Genshin Ori tapi 16 giga apalah daya. Sabar mas. Nanti juga ke upgrade device-nya. Main cloud tuh males, udah top up, ngantri, ngabisin kuota lagi. Yep, gitulah cloud gaming. Tapi itu bakal jadi cara ngegame di masa depan ya. Kayak aku yakin kalau di masa depan tuh yang paling banyak dimainin sama orang tuh cloud gaming. Kayak handheld yang game-game kayak Nintendo Switch, terus yang kayak gitu-gitu tuh bakal dibikin cloud-nya, kayak ada versi cloud gitu. Jadi mereka jual yang versi cloud yang harganya lebih murah daripada handheld aslinya gitu. Ntar para generasi alpha nih ngegame di HP tuh main game-game AAA yang ya langsung connect ke server mereka. Kayaknya segitu kalau update biasa kan 3-4 giga. New map kemarin nah ini mau new map jadi 6 giga. Kemarin Fountain New Region gameplay explore baru jadi 10 giga. Salah, semoga kita masih bisa main ya.
In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our
Kau suka
opinions
lihat
on isolated
Kamarama ya
cases,
bang?
all while knowing very little about
Kamarama.
the human stories behind each and every one.
Kamarama siapa coy? Aku banyak sih nonton reviewer game. Oh ini suka banget sama Genshin dia nih. Bahas Genshin banget ya.
Maybe it's because I finally become an
I am truly now that you've regained some confidence. Have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire.
Pak Genshin ada versi disc-nya nggak ada lah, nggak mungkin ada coy. Di PS aja nggak ada disc-nya gitu. Kalau ada disc-nya itu nggak bisa update coy. Maksudnya update-nya bakal sulit, soalnya setiap patch di PS pasti dioptimize lagi sih. Kayak kalian tahu kan bedanya update di PC mobile sama di PS. Kalau di PS tuh bener-bener dibikin ulang dari awal biar nggak ada bug yang nempel di PlayStation. Kayak eksklusif gitu loh, dipelihara bener-bener. Makanya PS4, PS5 tuh pasti download ulang tiap update.
The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions.
Coba lihat arte Shinjuku bang. Aku buat Raiden. Ya. Nanti ya. Uang nggak mencukupi. Sabar ya. Kalau game live service nggak ada versi disc lah. Betul.
Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage.
Mungkin PS4 50 giga. Kalau yang PS5 67 giga gitu.
This
Beda-beda emang.
experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales.
Jam setengah 12.
I will have my staff book the
Cepetin.
date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troop once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalect.
You are very welcome.
Update lagi aku masih lama kok. Masih ada 1 bulan lagi, ntar update lagi cuy. Kamu main di PS4 kan Genshin? PS4 67, kalau add-on 16 GB. Mungkin dia dibulatin gitu. Kayak Ya udahlah. 50 giga menggambarkan 67 kan. Nggak mungkin kan kalian spesifik nyebut update game aja.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The opera epiclese is booked. Thanks to
Oke,
my
tinggal
eloquent
pertunjukan.
and impassioned speech, we've had to fight a touching story. Now,
The sooner we can finally. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few.
Wow, you two.
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never.
It's amazing. Even though Farina's still being a
Berkat
bit of a
Farina,
rebel
coy.
about it all, she's really fired everyone up.
Mending MK1. Ya soalnya kalau MK1 kan gamenya cuma ada di PlayStation doang. Jadi developernya nggak pusing-pusing buat rencana masa depannya.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Buat time skill Naida enak nggak? Kan bisa pakai ini. Apa? Gyro.
Hey, Loic, get
Ada
over
di
here.
DualSense.
Time to practice the opening number.
DualShock 4 juga ada. Bahkan yang PS3 itu ada sih. Sensor gyro. Ini bagusnya, Cok. Udah dibersih kayak ini. Anjir. Aku mau screenshot gak bisa, nying.
That cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
Wih, filmen.
This has nothing to do with her.
This guy could be.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back.
everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles.
Enak cuy, tapi pakai gyro. Jadi lumayan enak, yoi. Bisa. Makanya sticknya mahal harganya. Banyak fitur coy. Ada trackpadnya juga.
Only.
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage.
Sakit kah?
Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone
Wah, digantiin
down.
Farina iki pasti.
You...
Oh iya sih, keren ya.
This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Farina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're
Wah,
going to
gila
ask.
keren anjir Farina, cowok. Terharu aku.
Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep.
Ya, spoiler. Gak apa-apa, udah jelas kok.
No one likes regrets, myself included.
Bro, pernah bayangin gak kalau Fontaine jadi arena baku tembak? Sulit sih, cowok. Farina nih damai anjing. Kayak
Leave it to
kota
me.
drama, coy.
I've watched watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure,
Sulit sih udah nggak
she never
kebayang di
once
Genshin.
stopped
Ya
believing
ya.
in the beauty in this world.
Rina terlalu damai coy.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Karakter barunya rata-rata bawa bedil coy. Emang sih. Ya kayak tipikal-tipikal polisi lah. Tentara gitu. Navia kan hitungannya kayak tentara gitu juga. Pelindung coy dia tuh. Pelindung poison. Security. Yo, very nice here bro. Let's go. Anjir epic sih.
Is she here yet?
Let's get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
She's here. Kerennya anjing.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle est nourrie, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Anjir, menyet. Dapat vision coy. Tadi orang-orang poison
Is it just
tuh.
me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
Ini orang poison kayaknya.
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere?
Ah, sial-sialan. Kenapa anjir? Laughing Well. Itu kan judulnya. Kayaknya ada dua versi kan. Buatku di atas yang Yunjin. Bagus sih, ini jauh sih.
Gotta say though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
the little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on? I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognize. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina after all. She's back.
He's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged.
Iya, yang covernya versi bagian novel. Oh, ada dua ini kah? Dua scene. Bre, lo pernah mikir nggak sih kalau YouTube Cloud yang ngasih duit ke youtubernya? YouTube Cloud apalagi jir? YouTube ngasih duit ke youtuber tuh dari iklan-iklan yang masuk sama langganan premium.
After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Tapi agak aneh bang di kupingku yang versi novelnya. Iya kah? Sama-sama bagus sih menurutku.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
YouTube itu cloud yang give duit. YouTube itu cloud yang give duit. What?
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Yang donate versi YouTube itu kah?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? Hana flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it went
Ya,
pretty
dapat
well,
wish ya.
didn't it?
Prince ngantuk.
I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Nggak paham jir, gimana sih golden stuff? Nggak paham sih YouTube plot. Aku nggak pernah denger sih YouTube plot.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we...
Yes. Plus, if nothing else,
Oke, kita langsung nyamperin yang penyakitan. Hehe. Oh, dan sekarang icon masuk rumah diganti gak sih? Dulu nggak dikasih tahu kalau masuk rumah tuh ikonnya gini. Lu upload, lu jadi YouTuber. Nah, videonya lu bisa download. Iya, terus.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
Ramudeng podo, ramudeng aku.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance.
Lo dapet adsense karena lo upload video di YouTube, iya kan? Iya. Dan YouTube nyimpennya di storage mereka, cloud storage. Dinamakan cloud karena kita bisa nyimpen jarak jauh.
Well, one way or another, we did it.
Dan orang-orang bisa download video yang lo upload. Iya betul. Terus korelasinya apa sih? Terus hubungannya apa coy?
I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
Jadi YouTube sama dengan cloud bersama. Meskipun cloud tetap ada enkripsinya sih. Golden Staff, tolong, gimana maksudnya? Masih nggak paham semua. Jadi ya sebenarnya misal kalau AdSense di YouTube, itu YouTube tuh merugi anjir malahan tuh. Dia nyimpen video orang di storage tanpa keuntungan sama sekali. Jadi alurnya tuh sebenarnya YouTube bikin penyimpanan cloud buat semua orang. Nah, para pengiklan tuh tertarik. Soalnya video orang kan ditonton sama orang banyak. Jadi pengiklan membayar YouTube dengan uang yang banyak. Terus ntar video yang bisa mempromosikan ke orang banyak tuh dikasih sama YouTube bagi hasil. Theory is everything, bang. Theory of everything. Theory is everything. Nah, betul tuh kata Moka. Sebenarnya memang disimpan sama mereka, cuman ada enkripsinya yang bisa buka cuman kita. Dan jujur li gue tipu. coba diulang dari awal deh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like
Karena
wildfire.
YouTube juga anaknya Google,
You
ya
don't
betul
have to
sekali.
disband if you don't want to.
Gampangnya tuh alurnya Google atau YouTube itu bikin penyimpanan bersama. Nah, penyimpanan bersama itu nggak bisa diakses oleh siapapun kecuali yang punya akun tersebut. Jadi itu penyimpanan bersama tapi bukan literally bersama dan bisa dilihat semua orang. Itu kayak punya pattern sendiri-sendiri. Jadi karena itu makanya yang di public sama yang di private tuh bisa dipilih sama kita, yang mana mau di public, yang mana mau di private. Kalau yang di YouTube itu videonya dikhususkan buat public kan. Nah makanya itu para pengiklan tertarik buat menyalurkan iklannya ke orang-orang. Nah habis itu karena kerjasama antara pengiklan dan Google ngasih imbalan ke kita karena udah berhasil iklanin produk mereka. Itulah kenapa kita mau download video dari YouTube tetap harus login akun. Ya kalau downloadnya legal memang harus begitu. Sebenarnya fitur offline doang sih itu. Kalau diakses sama orang tuh tergantung yang punya akun, mau di private apa di public gitu. Lu upload masuk YouTube, ke upload, lu hapus, videonya nggak hilang. Oh videonya nggak hilang. Yang nggak hilang tuh kalau mereka downloadnya secara ilegal coy. Soalnya ya jejak digital nggak bakal hilang coy. Selama video lo kamu public, selamanya nggak bakal hilang kalau ada jejaknya. Dan jejak itu tuh sebenarnya ya nggak semua orang nyimpen nih coy. Bahkan YouTube juga nggak bakal nyimpen secara umum untuk orang-orang lain kalau kita nggak mau diliatin ke orang-orang. Iya bakal hilang kok. Kalau misal kamu upload YouTube ya, terus kamu public, terus di-download sama orang lewat fitur YouTube. Nah ketika kamu privat, videonya bakal hilang di offline mereka juga. Kecuali mereka downloadnya ilegal, kayak video yang harusnya di penyimpanan cloud tiba-tiba di penyimpanan fisik punya orang-orang sendiri.
You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceania to the bigger theater troops out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Oke, thanks Al udah mau jelasin tes eksperimenku. Iya, sama-sama.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with music.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well.
Yeah, happy ending. Bahasa apa sih? YouTube aku nggak ngerti. Nggak apa-apa, nggak terlalu penting kok. Jadi aku ada bahan buat cerita buatanku.
What about you, Miss Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only
Mas
to
Oyo
hide
balik,
truth.
welcome bro. Mau selesai nih
But from
ceritanya.
now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the... I'm sure this is what...
Sounds like you're ready to... The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place...
If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Done, selesai. Yes. Akhirnya kita menamatkan story quest Furina. Tinggal kita klaim-klaim dulu. Wah, kalau ada fitur baru ke Catherine kayak udah nggak males lagi coy.
Add Astra.
Dulu paling males
Thank you for
balik ke Catherine
Add
buat
Astra.
ngutus ekspedisi. Sekarang instan coy. Anjay. Untung nggak lihat semua questnya. Kamu belum kah? Tenang, tenang. Nggak akan ku spoileri. Coba buat cerita teknologi concurrently with the P technology in the conjunction with the Middle Age. P teknologi itu apa anjir? Wah, gak paham golden staff. Kayaknya kamu bertanya ke orang yang salah ya. Saiki delono artes Shinjuku. Oh iya. Shogun masa depan. Hahaha. Di bocah. Prince. Nah, ketemu kan. Oke, Raiden Shogun nih. 50, 144. ER 248. Ngeri. Untuk engulfing 300 luwih iki. Iya, tanpa apa mau? Tanpa komplit. Jadi harusnya semuanya bagus kecuali komplit. Not bad lah. Ini bagus banget. Loh, komplit. Oh, komplit ini. Ini bagus banget. Iya. Wah, wis lulus coy. Tinggal komplit itu. Kalau ada quest daily Code of Fountain jangan di skip loh bang. Dapat achievement kah? Kamu lihat arti bagus nggak bang? Mana lihat, kirim di Discord aja coy. Iya, zaman modern kamu sama zaman abad pertengahan. Kamu mau bahas itu kan? Entah bagus atau jelek ceritanya. Oh, kamu mau bikin cerita tentang penggabungan Middle Age sama teknologi sekarang. Kamu bisa bahas ini sih. Bahas teknologinya Tesla yang wireless itu. Itu wireless. Itu gara-gara Tesla mau bikin listrik gratis ke dunia kan. Cuman gagal gara-gara salah prediksi. Ternyata nggak work ya, tapi malah dijadiin cerita sama cerita konspirasi sama orang-orang. Padahal sebenarnya tuh emang ceritanya tuh gagal si Tesla. Tetapi dari kegagalan itu menemukan teknologi baru yang namanya wireless. Bisa sih kamu bahas itu. Temanya mirip Guardian Tales. Entahlah, aku nggak pernah lihat Guardian Tales. Faisal kurung. Red buat Arte Raiden. Hampir perfect sih menurutku ya. Kalau ada engulfing tapi kalau kamu pakai the catch kurang sih itu. God of Fountain dapat achievement. Oke, nice info. Aku mau lihat ngeliat Eri arti dewa mirip Constar. Oh, daripada Cons karakter. Memang sih. Bagian nggak bisa didapat dengan uang. Hahaha. Oke guys, udah jam 12 malam ya harusnya. Kita off stream dulu. Terima kasih yang udah gabung-gabung ya. Kita ketemu lagi di stream berikutnya. Selamat malam dan jangan lupa istirahat. Jaga kesehatan teman-teman semuanya. Ngeri gue. Faisal kurang mau delok kok kekurangannya. Oh, Faisal juga. Ya udah terakhir. Faisal tuh build-nya nggak perlu bagus-bagus sih menurutku. Yang penting bisa elemental skill, ulti, artinya doang kah? Thundering Fury. Kamu nggak pakai ini kah? Nggak pakai golden drop aja. HP anjir, kakek HP cok. Ini jelek banget bunganya. Yang ini jelek juga. Ini, nah ini baru bagus. Electro damage bonus, SP -1, IR ada, iya biasa baik. Crit rate, HP miss 2 kali, CDM nambah sekali tok. Wah jelek juga ini. Tapi susah ya nyari circlet. Jadi nggak apa-apa. Yang paling jelek bunga sama bulunya coy. CV 20% tuh sedih sih. Ini juga CV nya cuma 20. Ini bagus. Yang bagus cuma 1 tok coy, jujur aja ya. Oke lah, next aja. Udah coy, udah tak review, tak kasih nilai 5/10. Masih jelek sekali visualnya. Sorry ya. Faisal, santai aja sih Faisal. Kalau gabut aja sih dinaikin. Sirine berlalu lalang. Semoga kamu baik-baik saja ya, Golden Staff. Kalau besok kamu muncul lagi berarti kamu nggak ketangkep polisi ya. Yaudah guys, stay safe dan stay healthy. Sampai jumpa di stream berikutnya. Bye bye, thank you all.